This is FBG.Live. From touchdowns and concerts to weddings and Christmas parades. Live video production right here in Fredericksburg, Texas. Live, local, here for you. FBG.Live, capturing your moment for generations to enjoy.
Monday, November the 3rd, 2025. This is a special meeting of the Gillespie County Commissioners Court. It's 9:01 a.m. We are going to call the meeting to order. All members of the Commissioners Court are present this morning. Let's move to item number 3, which is consider adoption of a resolution related to the development and construction of the proposed Marshall Springs Solar and Battery Energy Storage System project in Gillespie County. We do have one individual that signed up to speak on this item. Just for history, we discussed this at our last regular meeting just under a week ago. After that meeting, we sent, or maybe even during the meeting, we sent a draft of the proposed resolution to our outside engineer consultant to review. He submitted a response this morning with one suggested addition, which is on page 3 of 4 of the copy that y'all have. It's the highlighted in red language. So the draft I have disseminated has some of the sections that we discussed at the last meeting that were suggested to be deleted by Mr. Nash. One unresolved question is the names of the entities. We know that we have Ampere identified as essentially a the responsible party on this resolution, but we know there are two separate entities that are LLCs, one for the solar component and one for the battery component that are identified in many of the, I'll call them regulatory filings related to the project. And so I think it would, in my opinion, it would be a good idea to incorporate those additional parties as names in the resolution. Anything else from the commissioners before we have public comment on this item? All right. Mr. Nash, are you ready to make your comments? Do you want a minute to look at that? Okay. Is Sarah? I think she's in court today. Dale, anything from the county attorney's office on this that you need to relay or were asked to relay?
Coming over, she's just on the phone.
Okay. You want to move to another item and come back to this in a few minutes?
We can do that.
Okay. Okay. Let's go to item number 2, which was approved job descriptions and or posting for positions in the library. I believe this is for the library director or administrator position that we discussed at the last meeting as well. Good morning.
From last week and updated the starting rate to 70,000 based on experience. And then reviewed what we were sent from the public and under the essential duties and functions. If you will look down after the 4th bullet, Cammie is proposing that statement that's after public recommendation. And if y'all are in agreement, she'll make that a bullet point and take out public recommendation. And then also on the back of that page, under the last bullet in that top section, there's another comment that's public recommendation. But other than that, it was left the same.
So the public recommendation was that input that you received from
Yes,
from one of the individuals that spoke at the meeting.
yes.
Okay.
I'm good with both those bullet points.
Okay. All right. Anything else you need to present on this item?
That's it.
Okay. Any questions or discussion from the Commissioners Court?
I move to approve job descriptions and posting for positions for the library director as presented.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion?
You made it as library director, it's actually now as administrator, is that fine?
We kind of call them, it's been used interchangeably. I mean, I guess we can set a title for it while we're doing this. I always refer to it as the library director.
For myself, that's just,
Yeah.
Do you want us to change
What is the title in the system, you know?
administrator?
I would say we already have it set up, we're leaving it alone.
I mean, we know what we're talking about, either where, but true. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Lynn, do y'all know where you plan to post that? I mean, are we gonna do any, I don't know if y'all have talked about it yet or not, but,
I do know how we regularly post, and then there's a site that David had mentioned the last time, and I'm sure we'll go that route as
Okay.
well.
I just know in some of these kind of specialty positions, we have to cast a broader net, so,
Okay.
okay, thank you. Item number 4 is consider approval of RFQ for outside legal related to the review of the county subdivision ordinance. I don't believe we're probably ready to discuss that today. Melissa's not here. I have not had an opportunity to work on that since the last meeting. I believe the question was whether we were going to try to reconfigure where it was going to be engineer-driven versus, or at least have engineer input at the time of drafting, which I'm fine with. I think that makes sense.
So no action.
Unless Melissa shows up in the next few minutes, we won't take action on that. So no action on item number 4 right now, unless we revisit that later in the meeting. We can do consent agendas, routine business items the court will act upon in a single motion unless a member of the court wants to pull an item for individual discussion. There were just a few items on there. I think it was some routine phone bills and internet and some overpayments for some withholdings to employees, like $100 and something out of that. Anything else we need to add or amend to the consent agenda?
No additions. I move we approve our consent agenda as presented.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Okay, we will go back to item number 3, which again is considering a adoption of a resolution related to the Marshall Springs project in Gillespie County. Mr. Nash, you ready? All right, we're gonna public comment from Mr. Nash, David Nash.
Yes, David Nash, Precinct 2. So y'all have attachments there. So page 3 on the second furthermore statement where we list Ampere and various other, I say entities, but maybe we should put the word entities in there too as well. And then if you want to add the other entity names, that's fine as well.
You should turn it off quick. All right, Mr. Nash.
And then last time I spoke a little bit more about NFPA 69 and ventilation and all that, but that has all the requirements that would get you back to the ventilation, and the ventilation details are in NFPA 68. And so they kind of work together basically. And just wanted to bring that to your attention because I spoke about ventilation, and 69 just talks about having specifications related to anything that avoids an explosion. And that's all I really had. Everything else looks fine.
Okay, I have one question, if you
Yes.
don't mind. So the section that's suggested to be added by Dr. Archibald, which says basically requesting documentation from NFPA 68 or 69. We don't have that language in the Harper, and I know it's not on the agenda for today, but is that something that would be beneficial to incorporate into the Harper resolution, or do you think that it's already covered as written?
Yes. It should be incorporated in the other one.
Well, yeah, if we want to amend that and be consistent, I would also want to pull in the NFPA 2021 clauses. They're in the Marshall Springs one.
Okay.
That's something that I just didn't put in there the first time.
Okay.
And I just, whatever else we need to do to be consistent, we can make one big, amendment to that.
Well, and I mean, we're continuing to, evolve our response to these, and so if we, we've maybe uncovered additional information that we didn't have at the time that would be good to put into the Harper resolution, I think, to amend to include that. So I was just based on your expertise, you think that that would be an appropriate consideration. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes, yes. And I guess another thing that comes to mind is this item 12 on page 3 of 4. That's kind of a catch-all of, other things that, we would want related to NFP 855. Now, I just noticed 68 or, so that means either. Okay, full documentation. Okay, that's fine. That's just an abbreviated version of the expanded version of the RFI that was sent to Peregrine.
I don't know. Would it make sense to have that be and or and
I don't know.
or,
It's
or-
just what these.
Mine, we have it as and.
Yeah,
Consistency there.
I looked briefly at the RFI. I have it back here. I was wanting to make sure the terminology was the same. But that's kind of what caught my eye. Is it an and or an or? I think and. Right?
Morning, sir.
So you think and instead?
Well, I mean, if we leave it as written, it's going to exclude one in favor of the other. And I don't know if there's a circumstance where they would both apply that we would need to have it be.
No, they work together.
Okay.
Because the details you get in 69 should have what you do in related to 68.
Okay. Any other comments, Mr. Nash?
That's it.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Sarah, we're just discussing the resolution that was sent. You have a draft, one of those copies you can give her.
Judges, the draft that you're reviewing, the one. that
I've got one here,
Karen's
sorry. This has the addition from Dr. Archibald in it. So summarizing the comments, so we have a presented draft. I think one change that would need to be made prior to execution is to incorporate the two known LLC entities in addition to Ampere as parties that would need to be responsive to this. And then maybe add the word entities to try to broaden the collective description to encompass everybody that would have responsibility related to the project. The second proposed change is at the bottom of page 3 in the highlighted language that was suggested to be added by our engineering consultant, that where it says NFPA 68 or NFP 69, we changed that to an and/or.
The RFI does say and. So.
I'm okay with putting and. I mean, if there's nothing to respond to, then there's nothing to respond. And if there is, then they need to respond to both, so. You okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, any other discussion? And then Sarah, sorry, we also discussed about adding this recommended provision, amending the Harper resolution to incorporate that additional requirement. And Mr. Nash had a couple other small comments that we could incorporate at the same time.
Rick, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Nash.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, anything else, commissioners, on discussion on this item? Ms. Neal, anything? I know you haven't had a lot of time to absorb it.
No, whatever the recommendations were from Dr. Archibald, I would encourage the court to accept those changes, and then it sounds like the court's already satisfied with Mr. Nash's changes, so I have nothing else other than those.
One or two, that way we know we're getting it correct.
Okay, so under item number 3, I'm going to make a motion to adopt the resolution requiring Marshall Springs Solar Farm and Battery Energy Storage Systems documentation requirements. That's the name of the resolution. As presented with the following changes. The furthermore paragraph at the bottom of page 3 will be changed from or to and when referring to the NFP 68 and NFPA 69. And the parties identified in the resolution collectively will include an addition of the 2 known entities related to the battery component and the solar component of the project. That's all.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. I will make those edits here after the meeting, and I'll have that on the desk, on Pansy's desk for you all to go by and sign when you have a minute. We can add to our meeting on next week the revised resolution for Harper. If you want to work on that, that shouldn't take too long to make those amendments and have that ready. So I'll add that to the list for next meeting on, that's not Monday, I'm sorry, it's Wednesday after Veterans Day. Anything else, Commissioners? I believe that's all of our items on the agenda for today.
I'll just make a public service announcement.
Okay.
Tomorrow is election day on our constitutional election. So I encourage everybody to get out and vote.
Thank you. Anything else, Commissioners?
I have nothing.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And we are adjourned at 9:20 a.m. Thank you.